Prisoners at Guantanamo Bay detention camp have been on hunger strike for 100 days. At least 102 of the remaining 166 prisoners are refusing food. It all started in February. Prisoners were angry with a new system of restraining them. They said it was harsher than the previous one. The spark that ignited the protest: claims by the detainees that their Qurans were mishandled during an inspection, something that has been denied by US authorities. To keep them alive, the prisoners are being force-fed. They're restrained and a feeding tube is pushed through their nose and into their stomach. It's highly controversial. The United Nations has compared it to torture. Well, for more on this, we're joined from Geneva by Dr. Otmar Kloiber, Secretary General at the World Medical Organization. Dr. Kloiber, your organization has always said that force feeding is, quote, never ethically acceptable. How do you then describe what is going on today at Guantanamo Bay?
Well, we as physicians have to abide to the will of a patient, and of course prisoners are patients as well. And if you want to have trust with patients, then it is important that we accept their will. So force feeding them with force through tubes through the nose is not acceptable, and it is a degrading and an inhuman treatment. And if it's been done even to punish somebody or to statute an example, then it may be even torture.
Well, the UN, in fact, calls it a form of torture. Should there be repercussions, then, for the US's military's use of this form of torture against detainees who've been held, incidentally, incommunicado at Guantanamo Bay without charge for so many years?
Well, the World Medical Association is not a political organization, and we do not make political recommendations or legal recommendations. What we want is that physicians really can help their patients. And for that, it is necessary that the physicians have the freedom to interact freely with their patients and can help them. And that is certainly very important to build trust. And actually, I think it would solve the problems much more easier than forcing physicians to force feed their patients. So staying away from that practice would be really helpful for all sides.
And just how much access do these detainees, in fact, have to independent medical groups?
Well, what we know is that the Guantanamo Bay is being visited by the Red Cross. Otherwise, the detainees there have to take the soldier physicians that are being there supplied by the military. We are not aware that there is a free access of physicians to that facility there.
And physiologically, when you look at what is going on, the fact that some of these detainees have been on hunger strike for more than 100 days, that they are being force-fed in this way, how long could they sustain this for?
Well, technically, if there is a force feeding that is successful, of course, they can continue as long as thinkable there. That is not the problem. The problem is that the will of the patient here is not being respected, and that is absolutely unacceptable. So it is, as we said, it is a degrading, inhuman treatment. What we hope is that those who are involved in that don't do it in order to inflict any harm, but that they still have the hope that they can help those, although we believe that this practice is absolutely wrong.
But what is an organization like yours then doing to rectify the situation?
Well, what we have done is we have clarified our position towards the American government. We have discussed this with our member, the American Medical Association. And the American Medical Association has several times, just a couple of days ago, again, written to Secretary Hagan in order to inform him about our position and make it clear that it would be much better in order to let the physicians do their work freely and not ask them to force feed their patients, the prisoners there.
Dr. Otmar Kloiber, Secretary General of the World Medical Association, joining us from Geneva. Thank you very much.